Hello and welcome to my unboxing of, I think that's in here, because I obviously haven't unboxed it yet, is the Canoness Veridyan model. It's not a limited model, they've started making more of them, so if you haven't got yours already, then there is hope, definitely there's hope. So I thought I'd unbox it, and one of these will set you back, I think £15. I wasn't too fussed about the price. The model's decent enough. I wasn't too fussed about what the model's made of, which apparently is fail cast. I can say what I like. I'm not sponsored by Games Workshop, so I will say that. But I personally, I haven't been too unimpressed with Finecast. I've had a few models now in Finecast, some of which haven't even got to the channel yet, and I've had no issues really, so, but you'll see those videos at some point. Anyway, here she is, Sisters of Battle, Canoness Veridyan. For me, like I say, wasn't an issue, the price or the model, like in terms of rules. For me personally, it was what the model represents. It is a little bit of nostalgia. I don't know whether you can call a model nostalgia if you've never had that model before. Unlike sort of video games where you have a video game and then you play Mario years and years later and you get that sense of nostalgia. This is a little bit different in terms of nostalgia in the form of artwork, specifically Mr. Blanche. And I first thought that she appeared the very first rulebook that I owned, but that's not the case. I think she might have appeared on the rulebook before this, but I'm not too sure. So this is the first rulebook I had, and take a step back in time. This is when I started the hobby. This is in 1998. I thought it was a bit before that, but the artwork's not in there. The artwork's actually in this book, this Warhammer 40,000 rulebook. This one here, which was published in 2004. So this is about the time that I was working for Games Workshop. And it's just burned into my memory, and I'll show you what I mean. Here she is, look guys, this is the artwork from 12 years ago, and that was just burned in my memory. Blanche, you've got Fanatics, you've got Jacobus looking people, you've got Sisters of Battle, you've got some sort of like cult guys, like, that just sort of reiterates the loyalty, the passion, the religious fever that the Emperor, over the 10,000 years since he was put on the Golden Throne, has sort of created, even before that obviously as well. But yeah, so it was what the model represents, and this is what the model represents to me. It represents a memory and an icon, and something that's a blend of sort of old and new. You've got a sword, but then what's this weapon? Bolt gun. You've got some sort of skulls with lenses, but yet you've got ornate armour. That's what it represents, and that's the main reason why I purchased it. Not because it can lop off a Titan's leg, not because the model is massive, and not because it's made of a exquisite detail. It's just the attachment that I have with that artwork. Anyway, this is going to be a long video, I can tell. So here's the reverse, and it gives you a little bit of a story. A Canoness is the overall commander of one of the Orders Militant, a shining example of purity and dedication of purpose within the Adeptus Sororitas. Veridyan is a veteran warrior of many hundreds of battles who has risen to her position through a combination of strong leadership, shrewd tactical genius, and sheer faith in the Emperor. Inspired by the original artwork by John Blanche, and it gives you a little colour palette. There's a few colours that I do not have, which I definitely will be getting for this model. The way they've done the gold is they haven't just used, Retributor armour or anything like that. They've actually built it up from a base of XV88. That's why that bolt pistol looks just fantastic. Yeah, really iconic model. I love sort of like the gold power sword. I'm sure they must have airbrushed that, the power sword. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I will cheat and, and just paint it gold and highlight it and wash it and stuff, but we'll see. So let's unbox this lovely model. So here we go. You get the little instruction booklet. Looks like you get 10 parts and then the base 11, I suppose. What I will do is I'll have built her in a separate video, a little bit different from normal. Normally I'll build her in the same video, but because it's such a long video, I'll show you the parts, and then I'll do a follow-up video probably tomorrow and talk about her rules. So join me for that. So you get a very small amount of parts. I'm not sure whether this box was even needed. A smaller box with them like that in an even smaller box might have worked, but then you wouldn't have had the sort of visual effect, and that would just be very small if it was half the size. So here she is in here. You get the base, it's one of the newer size bases, and let's just have a close-up of her. A pair of skulls. So there's plenty of skulls here. So we'll just call it sort of 13 skulls in total on this one model. So it does say 2016 on it. So she was made this year. Tiny little shoulder pads. This tiny little servo skull, which is really small. It's going to be very fiddly. Quite a fair bit of flash. There's going to be a lot of sort of sanding to really clean her up and smooth her out. But there you go. And then we'll have a look at this, which includes the base of a skull and lots of bones. Some more skulls with bones. A bolt pistol with this lovely imperial sort of regal symbol, and the same there. And then her power sword, which is sort of quite flat at the end really, but yeah, really lovely detail on this model. And yeah, can't wait to take out all the parts of the sprue, build her, and you'll see that in another video. So thank you ever so much for joining me for this unboxing, First Luck. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.